how long this will be. I'll try to make it as short as I can. It is a few days after Christmas, and I'm at the point where I want my space back. Time to take the decorations down, put them up in the attic, whatever. But I was reflecting over just this past week. So from today till last week has been really, really hectic. My youngest ended up contracting flu A, so I had to go to the ER. One of my biggest fears, or things that'll send me over the moon, is having to go to the ER during cold and flu season at night during the holidays. That she was, it was life-changing, to say the least. But my daughter decided that she no longer wanted to attend the school that she has been going to since the kindergarten. And we've been at the school even longer because my middle daughter was there, but she decided to leave as well. And my oldest daughter was there for a while too. But she came to me intelligently enough to say, this ain't working for me. I don't want to be here. I want to see more teachers, principals, students that look like me. And her reasoning for not wanting to stay at the school was not the same reason that my middle daughter chose. But because of the type of parents that I'm confident enough that they are educated enough to make these kind of decisions for themselves. They're just asking for us to support them. Say less. Of course, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to back her up 100%. I made her think about it. I made her, well, where would you go? I gave her choices of alternative. Like, if I can make it happen, or, why? And the things that she said was, they like to touch her hair. And she's a girly girl, so she likes to get a blowout, and she likes to fling her hair around, and, she's that kind of person. And so I did that to her hair a couple of weeks ago, and she was like, can you put it all up? It's become a distraction. In all of the years and all of the time that I was in school, I never felt that way. I never had anybody ask to touch my hair unless we were saying, girl, what kind of hair is that? Is that Malaysian? Is that Brazilian? Like, is that some good hair? Is it shit? Like, that's the only, reason I've had for somebody to ask me, can they touch my hair? So I didn't understand how it felt. And then I was talking to the big version, which is another girl with the same name as my daughter, but she's the age of my middle daughter. And she said, yes, they've done it to me too. It feels invasive. So right before Christmas break, I said, well, I'm still doing my volunteer hours. Why? Because I already know that she doesn't want to go. So volunteer hours is not really something I had to do, but it was a party. And the type of parent I am, I like to always be a black face in the school for not just my kid, because my kid knows I'm there for them whether I'm there or not, but like field trips. I like to be the black mom that's on the field trips. I try to attend most of the field trips. That when my middle daughter was there, I attended all the field trips. But this one, all of the trips that I could attend, I did attend. I move my work schedule around sometimes. Sometimes I work during the field trip. There was a field trip where there wasn't parents allowed to go. Then there was a field trip out of town that I just refused to go on. But I think it's important for the kids to see a black parent, somebody that looks like them on the field trip, in the classroom, somebody that they can trust, or, whatever. All the kids, for some reason, trust me. And so I signed up to do the Christmas party, but I also had made it a point to set out some time to talk to the principal to let her know, hey, this is how she feels. She doesn't want to come here. So I made sure the dad could be present too, because although we are trying this co-parent thing out, we always agree and back our kids 100%. His opinion and my opinion are never always on the same thing, but the outcome of wanting our kids to be healthy, happy, productive, and their education is first and foremost after everything else. And so he made it a point to be there when it was time for the meeting. We went in, we sat down with her. I told her, I said she doesn't want to come anymore. And I gave her a reason why. So she said they like to touch her hair. The first thing she said was, well, I went to Africa for a month and they wanted to touch my hair. She's a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman. And I said to her, you're a stranger in their country. Over here, she's in a classroom with classmates that she's been with since the kindergarten. Why do they want to touch her hair? And that was the whole thing that stuck out to her. Why? What was it about? You know, and I wasn't in the mood to educate. I'm only giving you the courtesy to let you know she don't want to be here. It was the same thing I did with the middle one. And then she was like, well, you know, you have to go to the Department of Education and get this. And then I was like, I know what I got to do. But I'm just trying to give you the chance. Well, why doesn't she want to go? I was like, well, she said this. And I asked her, I said, have you looked at her grades? Her grades are terrible. When my middle one was there, her grades were not half as bad, but they wanted to test her for special ed. They treated my middle one really bad, really, really bad. So bad that when I walk up to the school, they automatically call the middle kid's name. A couple of weeks ago, I walk up to get her a car rider. A car rider. She called the middle daughter's name right off the bat. I had to correct her. She doesn't go here anymore. She hasn't gone here for like 5 years. Why do you still keep calling her name? It's guilt. So when I was picking the youngest one up, she said, why did she call my sister's name? My sister didn't go here. I said, oh, you heard that? She said, yeah, I heard it. That's another reason why she don't want to go here. You see her sister, you don't see her. She's a whole different individual. You know nothing about this child except for I don't play about her. That's the only thing you know. When I walk up, you know that it's a problem because I've gotten to the point where I rarely ever go to school. I used to be in the house more than she did when my middle daughter went there. I knew the kids on a level she didn't even know. I know them now where they want to conversate with me. They want to hug me. Strange kids come up and want to ask me questions. And I don't even understand half of what they be saying half of the time. But I nod and pretend to smile and talk back and they understand that. And so she's not a fool. The principal isn't. She knows that the father and I are no longer together and that the kid is being raised in 2 different households. And she says, well, Dad, what do you think? And I laughed, just like that. I giggled. And he said, well, it's like she said, her grades are bad. She doesn't want to do the work. She's not doing the work. She doesn't feel comfortable. He listed all of the things that I had just told her previously. And he was like, and she was like, well, you don't want her to leave, do you? And he was like, no, I don't want her to leave. But I don't want her to be somewhere she don't want to be. And it was at that point that I was really, really proud of the dad. But it was also at the point where I got a chance to school the principal. And I said, you asked him, but you didn't ask her. So why don't you ask her why she no longer wants to attend your school? Sound like, where you need to start your investigation, your search for answers. And she said, I'll do that. And then she asked me, what was it about the hair thing? I'm not finna get in that with you. We're not finna do that. I told you she doesn't want to come here. And she asked, well, what school would she go to? I said, well, I'll tell you where she want to go. Where she'd like to go. And I said, do you know what she wants to be when she grows up? She was like, I got such and such down. I was like, yeah, I'm sure you do. But I know at least 7 of your students and what they want to be. And at least 70 of yours speak to me when we ain't even in your school. So, I feel like in so many ways, she tried to play in my face. Well, you have to go over to the Department of Education and get it. I know what I got to do, and I know what I'm going to do. And those little things like that, they don't stop me one single bit because I'm going to make it happen. And you should, as a principal, you should say, well, I understand. I'm sorry. I, too, want her to be where she can thrive and grow. It was none of that. It was, well, I'll talk to her. I said, well, hey, talk to her, see what you get out of her, but don't play with her. Don't lie to her and don't play with her mental because she does not play about that and she'll call you out on that. So when I got there, later that day to pick her up, she said, I told her to come by my office and she ghosted me. Now, when I walked up to pick her up, she knew who I was coming to get. She still didn't know how to say her name to call her. She needed to see my number to call the number. And then she said she ghosted me. And I was like, what? She was like, I told her to come and see me and she didn't see me. I was like, oh, well, you got tomorrow. There's always tomorrow. Now, the next day was the day before Christmas holiday break or whatever. So it was a lazy day. They wore pajamas. They just chilled out. So I didn't see her till later that night. She went home with a friend. When I got to her, the friend's mom said, I've been trying to ask her what she's going to do about the school. I want to know. I said, yeah, well, she already had her mind made up. But the way she played it was, I'm not telling anybody what happened until I speak to my mom first. And that wasn't even something that we discussed, because even when I talked to the dad on the phone, he was like, well, what did the parents say that she said about school, or what did they say about school? You already know what she said about school. So when we finally got home, I said, how was your day? She was like, she came and got me in the middle of us watching a movie. She interrupted the movie. She didn't care that I was having fun with my friends while I didn't have to study, blah, blah, blah. So at that point, I already knew the situation was dead. Everything that she said to her from that point on went through one ear and out the other. She said, I told her I didn't want to stay anymore. And even at that point, she wanted to play in her face and say, well, it's going to be hard to leave, and you this and you that and this, that, and the third. And she did everything I told her not to do. Everything I told her not to do. But lucky for me, I'm not the parent that'll just roll over and play dead. You got it, you win. I'm not that kind of parent. I don't play when it comes to my kids. And she knows that. It was last year, I think it was. She was like, what can we do better? Because I had a problem with somebody in attendance. And she was like, what can we do better? Because we don't want to lose another one of your sweet girls. That's on you. It's on you. And I talked to 2 girls that were in high school that told me they did not like it there. But I could tell that they didn't like it. They were only 2 little black girls sitting in the cafeteria by themselves. And if you know me, you know these my homegirls right here. I walked over, started a conversation with them, and now they besties. We besties. I gave them my first book, and like they want to take pictures, and they knew my middle daughter, which they weren't even at that school when my middle daughter was there. But they trust me, and it's a gift and a curse. And I'm going to tell you why. It's a gift that kids trust me and they confide in me. And it's a curse because every child that I encounter, I want to help them. I want to make it easier. I want to be an advocate like I am with my own kid, but I can't always help. Well, I don't have the social workers, certificates, and this and the degrees and all those things. But it goes a long way, because even outside of school, some of them feel comfortable with speaking to me. Some of them feel comfortable with coming up to me and talking to me and like opening up to me. And that's the gift and the blessing that comes with me just being me. Because I didn't feel like I was up there to be a vessel, but to be something that infects the whole school. Because when I tell you, I went from the assistant principal to the kids that I knew since they were in the 4th grade, that are 7 years. Some of the kids that I just met last year when she was playing basketball, but they want to talk and they want to, one little girl, I was like, hey, you ready for Santa Claus? And she looked at me and she was like, you mean my daddy? And I was like, oh my God. She was like, yes. And I was like, are you sure you know? She was like, it's my dad. I was crushed. But she felt comfortable enough with me to say, I know y'all just be, and we go with it. And I know my kid knew, and she just went with it. She finally asked me yesterday, and I almost choked. I think I was eating or drinking something, and she was like, so y'all just been lying to me my whole entire life about Santa? And I was like, and so my oldest was like, no, why would you think that? And I was like, what do you mean? Go a little further. She was like, well, when we were playing Monopoly and Daddy kept saying he bought this and he bought that, he bought this, and I know if he bought that, then he bought everything, and he's Santa Claus. And I was like, okay. Okay. Because I know she knew a long time ago. She's been dropping hints about the F on the shelf supposed to come on December the 1st. She's been dropping hints about how Santa Claus gets her list, how he can read her mind, how he get everything she wants. Like how I never leave the door unlocked, but on Christmas, because we don't have a chimney, I'm gonna leave the door unlocked. She's like, yeah, right. You're not finna do that. And how this little dog, this little elf on the shelf move around your house all day long and you don't hear it, you don't know what she doing. But the minute we get on the floor or open up the refrigerator, you hear that. So I knew she didn't know, but she was like, if they gonna play along, I'm gonna play along with it. And so we decided, even though she knows the truth, we still gonna play along. We still gonna do F on the shelf, and he still gonna get to play Santa Claus because that's what he like. And we'll do it until she say, okay, it's enough. And that's just how it is. Like, nobody, well, maybe somebody wrote some co-parenting books, but those co-parenting books may not work for this situation right here, because this new right here, we having to navigate this shit right here a little bit different. And it's not easy. It's not pleasant. It's not what we pictured. And there's no AI, there's no app that I can be like, okay, if he say this, what am I supposed to say? And if I don't want to talk to him and I block him, how do we do this and this? There's no instruction manual to it. Because, baby, I was about to get down to pencil and paper only, mail it to him. I was about to invest in a whole book of stamps, and we talk through letter only. It be that bad. And but the one thing that we can always agree about is the kids come first. Even when she had the flu, it was like, okay, you at the ER, what do I need to get? I need to get these medications. I need to make sure that she eats, and what do you want to eat? And I need to make sure that she has, you know, this medicine and this. But he said, I also want you to have some ginger shots and stuff like this to make sure that you stay well while you're taking care of our daughter. And the arguments about the gifts and the tree and all of those things went out the window because it was something that was more important than that. And so we survived Christmas 2023. And I think there were no casualties, there were no arguments, there were no disagreements. We did it, and then we walked away and allowed them to do what they do. And so every now and then I count that as a win. I check it off, and I'm like, phew. So many years down, so many more to go. But if I don't know anything else, then I know that he'll come through for the kids when it really matters. And I know that even though we are like fire and gasoline, we have common goal. The common goal is to raise them to be better than we were, to have more than we had, to never have to go through some of the things that we had to go through. And for that to be the bigger goal, I think that's something that I need to have blew up poster sides like my book cover, and we hang that in his house, my house, in the car, a keychain, a screensaver, a tattoo, because at one point my cinnamon broom had him sneezing when he was coming in to drop them off and stuff like that. And so it was working really well, but it must be old and the effects have worn off a little bit. And so I had to buy fresh, new cinnamon broom. And since I found out they're half off, I'm going to buy one for the house, every room, and I'm going to put one in the car. But if anybody is the lesson, listen to your kids. They are smarter than you give them credit for. Good luck with co-parenting. I finally got my hookah pen, so that's good. Because they've been driving me nuts with the flu, the holidays, the little baby concert. The two big ones was like, I'm not coming over there. I'm trying to get ready for little baby. I'm not finna risk getting the flu and not being able to see little baby. Little baby is the most important thing on their minds. And I'm cool with that. Me and the little one went to go see Beyonce movie. I gotta entertain her today. I don't even know how. Beyonce movie again. Do we go back and see Beyonce? I think that'll work. Yeah, maybe. So we'll see. But the only thing that really works is to put her in the environment doing something she loves. The museum, maybe the aquarium. It's too cold to be outside. She's not a cold person. We're supposed to see Color Purple tomorrow, so I can't do that one because my sister wants to see Color Purple. And she's been wanting to see Color Purple since the previews came out. And we couldn't because she had the flu. So by tomorrow, it'll be a week. She should be 100% non-contagious. And I'll go sit in a crowded German movie theater for them. So, to any mothers out there that feel like, damn, it's a lot at one time, especially at the end of the year, you are not alone. You are not alone. But one thing that I know helps me is that I look to my village for support that have gone through it, that's doing these things, and we offer support to each other. One of my homegirls texted me and said, "What do you need?" I said, "You got some elderberry?" And she was like, "I'll get it ready for you, and you just have him come by there and get it." I'm blessed to have the type of love and support that I have, and I'm blessed to also have the type of kids that I have, the amazing relationship that I have with them, and the amazing job that God is creating the space for me to be this amazing mom, because I've been able to be there when they want and need me there, and not just in a small way, but in a huge way that matters to them the most. Because it's the small things. It's like the two high school girls only knowing my daughter's name, walking around looking for me, but all they know is her name, and them knowing the middle one, and she hasn't been there, and I'm like, oh, the cake lady. I created the cake lady. So it's not easy, but it's doable. And you may pull out your hair along the way, but the most important job, the most special title to me is being their mom, and I love it. So any tips or advice or hints or cheat sheets that you got on how to rock this motherhood thing, I'ma listen. I'ma still do it my way. But if you got questions, I could probably help you out. We could find a strategy or something, because you name it, I probably done went through it all. Not all of it, but with the parenting thing, pretty much all of it. I went to go pay the light bill today, and I didn't have the bill with me. I left it in the purse that I had. And my god sister was there. She was like, "How you don't know that?" I was like, "Baby, I just come here and get these folks their money and leave out." Then my grandma said, "Why you don't have it on your phone?" I said, "Because I always be having a bill. And I just, like when you run errands, you got your stuff together. You pay this bill. And I know some people that pay it online, but I think I like paying it in cash better. Because you know that's gone and that's paid. And what I got is mine. But the utilities have been paid. So I go to the car and I'm like, I gotta have a whole bill. I gotta have something. I had an account I need to log on something. And bam, I found my account number and I paid over. And I was like, okay, God, thank you for allowing me to have enough money to pay over, and for first and foremost for me to find this account number, because everything is locked down. You can't get in the office. You can pay the kiosk, which I like the kiosk because it's in and out, bam. I don't like the drive-through and all that. You gotta sit, you gotta wait. Let me just pay with the kiosk and get on out the way. But everything happens for a reason, because I haven't seen my grandma in a while, and it's always good to lay eyes on the people that invested in you. And did show you how to be part of the woman that you are today. So every woman invested in me, and I love seeing her and be trip me out. She said, "Why you don't got on your phone?" I'm like, I should be asking her that. But anyway, Happy New Year, and don't put too much pressure on you. Don't make any expectations, because we made resolutions, expectations, and all these kind of things for 2023, and 2023 handed us our asses. So good luck.